Hi, everyone. Welcome back for episode 56 of the Simply One podcast. I'm your host, Colin, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
How we doing, everybody?
We're just a couple of best friends who are passionate about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, TV shows, or even occasional comic, then we've got this show for you.
That's right.
That's right, baby. This week, we're a little short on time. So, we decided. Chris really was into his cryptid last week.
It wasn't we decided. I came to you and said, listen, I want to
Yeah, we didn't decide. You took over, and I obliged.
Mm-hmm.
I went, all right, I'll throw him this bone. If it blows up in his face, I get to go, I told you so. If it is successful, I get to go, there you go, pull more weight, you know? Either way, I win.
My God.
It's my game, you're just playing it, baby.
Jesus.
Was Walter, you know? What is happening, Walt? Walt, what happened? And he's like, I won, you know? I won. My God. But, yeah, so I got a bunch of smaller news stories and a couple of major ones.
Yeah.
No, so we're going to be doing like a news encrypted mini-sode, maybe. Just depends on how long this thing runs. But, we'll just have to wait and see. Mm-hmm. So in the news, we have Spider-Man 2's release date being leaked. I say leaked, basically more spoiled by one of the actors.
Hate to see it.
Couldn't be me. E3 is experiencing another loss. Yeah, it's in the death throes, I think. This is it convulsing as it loses the light. A TMNT video game that you and I are both kind of intrigued by, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got some news for the Ghost of Tsushima movie.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America 4 has started production.
Okay.
We got our first look at Harley Quinn in the Joker movie.
Yeah.
Like our first proper look. And the current situation with Jonathan Majors. Still an evolving situation. So if you're ready, we'll just we'll start at the top.
I'm so fucking ready.
How ready are you?
Like, I want to be on the bottom. I am the bottom.
You are a bottom.
I'm a power bottom.
Nah. You're not that powerful. You're not that guy, son.
You're not that guy, pal.
All right. So Tony Todd, who is the voice actor for Venom in the upcoming Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac.
What's his name?
Tony Todd.
Okay.
Tiny Tim. No. Please, sir.
I thought you said Tony Tot. I was like,
Todd.
Goofy ass last name.
Goofy. He got picked on. No. Unless it's a stage name, in which case he picked that. No, so Tony Todd, who is playing Venom, kind of just straight up was like, yo, here's when that game's coming out, baby. He apparently posted a picture on Twitter of himself doing some mocap work. And somebody was like, yo, can't wait to see, hear more about it. Like, I'm excited, whatever. And he just basically was like, looks like September. Massive publicity coming in August. Commercials start dropping in August. So I'm told, hold on to your ass and hold your breath. Gonna be necessary. And he just gave that information up.
Word.
And then not too much longer after that, the tweet was removed.
Yeah.
Where Sony probably went, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And he's like, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to say that.
My fault.
But I mean, that's not the most shocking, because at the beginning of the year, if you recall, Sony basically was like, fourth quarter, fall 2023. And so it's like, that's right in the pocket there. Yeah. But yeah, he did. I like that he just gave them all of this. Somebody just was like, can't wait to hear more. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll tell you more. He just gave it up. And they're like, Jesus. So he's like, get him out of here. So apparently, IGN reached out for comment, and Sony just didn't get back to him. So he's like, ugh. Now, obviously, it's not an official confirmation, but it's a pretty good
guess.
Good guess that with the way that both that tweet was removed and the fact that Sony won't touch it, tells me that they're like, yeah. But also, it is kind of a dick move, because what if they're not sure? What if it needs a little more time in the oven, and now this guy's like, it's coming in September, and everybody's like, yay, September, and then Sony has to come out and be like, official release date is holiday 2023.
Yeah.
And it's like,
everyone's like, what happened to September?
I thought it was coming out in September, and then like, we never fucking said that, Tony. Tony's over there, I'm sorry, guys. But I loved Spider-Man for the PS4. That was a fucking banger. Did you ever play it?
I played the first one, but I haven't played Miles Morales.
Miles Morales was also a banger. So
I need to.
I'm excited. I am really bummed that they're not doing co-op.
Yeah, I figured it would be a co-op style game. At
Since
least
they
give
were
you the
having
option.
both Miles and Peter. I don't know. It's probably like story-wise makes sense why they couldn't do co-op, where it's like at points you're playing as one or the other.
Sure.
I wonder if they'll do the death of Peter Parker in this one. You know, as like a transition.
Probably, yeah.
Or maybe they'll go for a trilogy and have him die in the third one and pass the baton.
Could be.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yeah.
Who are we to say?
Yeah. Just a couple of schmoes, you know?
Schmucks, if you will.
Schmucks, even. I would go as
Schmeckle.
far as to say pricks. A couple of douches.
Couple of schmeckles.
couple of yuckos.
Couple of hogs, if you know what I'm saying.
Ubisoft just is pulling out of E3. They're just
They're
like,
what?
You heard me. They're pulling out of E3
Couldn't be me.
after when we got dead. No, 2023 E3 is just now apparently going to be like, I don't know, maybe EA. I don't know who fucking else is left. Everybody else is either owned by Microsoft or Sony, or yeah, like I don't know who's going to be there now. So let's look at that. So the quote here, Ubisoft says, "Oh yeah, so they're holding their own separate event in LA the same week as E3. That seems to be what everyone's doing. Everybody's
so
just like,
up.
you know what? We're gonna go have our own party, and you're not invited. And E3's just over there like, guys, please.
That is super sad because like
Yeah, E3
that's what
used to be
go,
the thing, man.
Yeah, you know.
So they say E3 has fostered unforgettable moments across the industry throughout the years. While we initially intended to have an official E3 presence, we've made the subsequent decision to move in a different direction, and we'll be holding a Ubisoft Forward live event on the 12th of June in Los Angeles. We look forward to sharing more details with our players very soon. And, you know, like, as IGN says here, in February, the CEO was like, they have a lot of things to show at E3 2023. So, yeah, tough.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, like, so there's no presence from Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo, and there are currently no major publishers announced for E3.
Like, what
So
are
what
they
are you going to
this
do?
year?
Yeah, there's no show now.
What?
Rough, man.
Hate to see it.
Yeah,
That does blow.
tough.
That's embarrassing, too. Like,
Yeah, that's a really big, like, oof. That's not cool.
personally, I wouldn't allow that.
Personally, if it was me, I wouldn't let that slide.
Nah, like I'd be saying some shit. I'd be
be
stirring
like,
the pot.
I'd be out there getting in trouble. The things I'm saying on Twitter, you know, I'm getting canceled trying to get Ubisoft back. I'm gonna say some horrendous shit and then apologize publicly.
And then be like, so you coming back?
I'm gonna make an Instagram post about 21 Jump Street,
Baby, come back.
and just get back in good graces.
I love you, Jonah Hill.
That's so fucked.
Baby, come back.
What a douche. So God of War has inspired a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin game.
Yes.
So it was a comic book from 2020. We actually talked about it on the
I just
show.
want to say, I feel like I deserve some compensation for it since I was the one who got this thing up and going.
Yeah, since nobody had heard of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before.
You ever heard of the film Social Network?
That was about me. Yeah.
I got cut out.
Yeah.
Horseshit.
Fuck you and your flip-flops. No, so they're still in really early stage here. This is just basically an announcement that
So
they
maybe I
want
should see the check soon then.
Yeah, probably. Fucking putz. So, Polygon's actually the ones who broke the news that with Doug Rosen, who's the senior vice president for games and emerging media at Paramount Global, which is who owns the property of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So apparently the developer involved is being kept under wraps, so we don't know who's developing it right now. But he indicated that the goal is to create a AAA action title that draws heavily from the comic book source material and is inspired heavily by that action RPG elements of the more recent God of War titles. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty cool with that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just wonder the art style that they go for. Do they go for, like, a realistic, or do you go a little bit more cel-shaded comic booky, or...
I would want it to be almost...
Because, like, it needs to be... It's going to be violent.
Yeah.
You know,
so, like,
that's part of the...
I don't want to make them like super mutants, but...
That's what they are.
Or not like when they're huge.
Right, yeah, not like the Michael Bay movies
Yeah.
where they look like monsters.
Yeah. I don't know if I want that. But maybe...
I don't know, man. But
I'm excited to see what they do.
yeah, and I'm pretty cool with just, the idea of a bleak future, right? I mean, even it's so in right now, future being bleak is pretty in the zeitgeist right now. It's trendy. Everybody's got that feeling,
And you and I already know who the last Ronin
who the last Ronin is, yeah.
And so do you guys.
Yeah, if you've listened all this time.
Yeah, if you listen to that episode.
If you're loyal. These hoes
You're not
ain't
fucking
loyal.
fake.
Fake fans.
Fake ass hoes.
Fuck a fake fan. No, so, all we know right now is that the game is said to be a few years from release at this point in time.
Which is fine.
Yeah. I mean, a few years will fly.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like, at least it's something, I don't want to say original because it is still inspired by, but it's like, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that
I haven't
looks...
played that.
Yeah, and at least not anytime soon.
Right.
And not one that's going to very likely be a rated M, like, gritty...
Which I want.
Gory, like, oh, whoa.
I want to see, like, that universe, but, like...
Taken really seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. I saw that and I was like, yo, cut it out. What? Like, that sounds intriguing. Speaking of intriguing, the director of John Wick, who is also directing Ghost of Tsushima, actually talked to IGN after, like, a special screening of John Wick Chapter 4. His name is, what's his name here? Chad Stahelski. Mm-hmm. That sounds like a name that you make up. I'm Chad Stahelski. I'm like, okay. Nice to meet you, Mr. Stahelski. Who? Didn't you just say your name is Chad Stahelski? Oh, yes,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Who?
You talking to me? Yeah, you're Mr. Stahelski. Yes, I am. I'm just clowning on this man's name for no reason. He was asked about what he learned from his work on the John Wick series that he'll bring to Ghost of Tsushima. And he says, with every John Wick, we try to build the world a little bit bigger with the characters and set pieces and lighting. He explained just what we've learned over the past couple of years with DI, which is digital intermediate, the coloring at the end of production, and what you can do with new technology and with new Alexa cameras. That's kind of allowed us, hopefully, to make cinematography to the level that Ghost deserves. So basically, he thinks cinematography and coloring and things like that are one of the biggest things that he's learned from the John Wick series evolving.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they're all of them. I haven't seen the fourth one, but are very full of color.
Yeah, and even seeing like the trailers for John Wick Chapter 4, there's a lot of colorful and interesting.
The second one in particular had a lot of like the purple and blue.
Yeah.
Which I love.
I think of the first one when he goes into the like bathhouse.
Oh, like that teal color.
Yeah. But he says...
That's a banging song to Think by, I think it's Claudia.
So he used examples. Sorry, I spoke away from the mic. He uses examples from John Wick Chapter 4 in particular, talking about how he combined like digital world building with real locations to kind of get the color palettes to really pop, where you can kind of pick and choose what's real and what's fake to get the color that you're after. He says you can see the purples and pinks, and we can push the color and highlights about as far as you can push in Chapter 4. And he went on to say, so it was a big technological achievement to get the colors that we did in this and to get them to really stick, especially in the theaters you're seeing them in. And, I mean, we've played Ghost of Tsushima. There's a lot of color in it. I think specifically about that ending fight, where you've got the different maple leaves.
The maple and the cherry blossom.
Yeah, and just the different colors combining and all that. And I can see it being a very vibrant game, or, film compared to the game. But IGN apparently posed the question to him of, like, is there any discussion about including a version of a Kurosawa mode in the Ghost of Tsushima film,
the black
where it's
and
the
white.
black and white and the film grain and the really high wind, very stylized. And he said it's definitely a conversation.
Oh, I bet you they're going to release that one and then release.
Maybe, or maybe do like a scene, or I don't know, like.
Or, so when Jin Sakai in Ghost of Tsushima has his moment where he does the power stance and scares everybody.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do something like that then, where it turns black and white and like the high wind and he's
maybe
in his stance?
Could be something like that.
That would be dope as fuck.
Or even releasing like, I know that both Mad Max Fury Road and Logan released black and white versions on the home release.
Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because like Logan in black and white is actually really effective, and so is Mad Max.
I haven't seen Mad Max in black and white.
But yeah, fucking, I'm cool with that. I'm just excited that I really think Sony has really pulled off a trick by making their games stay story focused,
and then being able to turn it into a movie, but have it different enough to the point where like you can, everybody can watch it.
Yeah, where I mean, Uncharted was a pretty successful popcorn movie.
Yeah,
it wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. And then you've got The Last of Us on TV, which is like
cash.
Fucking nailed it.
Cha-ching.
Shmoney. All I see are dollar bills. And then you've got, that's Mr. Sony Man with money in his eyes. Oh,
money bags.
Mr. Moneybags. Now you got the fucking Ghost of Tsushima getting a movie from a really decent action director. So we got some casting news for Captain America 4, New World Order. Liv Tyler is coming back from 2008's
Bingo.
The Incredible Hulk to play Betsy Ross.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking fuck yes.
Betsy Ross?
Yo.
Stop
playing. I didn't know she was in this. No, so what a weird, I guess it makes sense because Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross is president, I think, in New World Order at this point.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you got to bring Liv Tyler back. But where's Ed Norton? Ed Norton played the Hulk in that one.
Yeah.
Apparently he was a dick. I don't know.
Oh.
That's what I've heard. And I got old Marky Ruffalo. It's pretty all right.
I like Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I think they kind of ruined his character a little bit in Infinity War.
By just making him Smart Hulk?
No.
Not in Infinity War. Sorry, yeah, that's Endgame. In Infinity War when he just couldn't change.
Yeah, and then Thor Ragnarok, they really CGI'd his voice real hard.
The Hulk, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Because he speaks bits of English in it, and it's just very CGI. And it's very robotic, I feel. I was pretty let down about that.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
I guess I'll just fucking
recover,
deal.
Yeah.
I'll power through. But yeah, so old Livy Tyler's coming back.
Okay.
And I did see, there's nothing exciting in the set photos yet, because I'm sure they're doing, the easy stuff now, But, you got Anthony Mackie wearing a nice...
leotard?
No, he was wearing a T-shirt.
He's not in a leotard. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, if he ain't in the leotard, get me out of there. No, I'm sure he'll be wearing something similar to a leotard at some point, Yeah.
But, some spandex.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's gotta be.
Yep. It's his toned anus.
You got it.
I mean, his glutes, not his anus. Hopefully we don't see his anus.
just 13 seconds.
That is
no music.
That is tight spandex. If you're seeing his anus, you can clearly see the brown in there.
Thing's looking like a bass fish as soon as you catch it out of the water.
That's horrendous. Stop it. You're going to make me rich. Lady Gaga debuted her Harley Quinn look in some set photos from Joker sequel.
Yeah.
Do you see these?
Mm-mm. Let me get eyes on. No, it looks good.
Yeah. I like the
outfit. It looks something like Harley Quinn would wear, but in
a more realistic world. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, not a lot of news other than to go, yeah, there we go. We see, looks like she's maybe on trial because she's being walked down. Well, looks like it could be public steps by police. And there's a lot of people wearing clown masks and a shirt that says a joke, maybe, and joke is written in red. But so I don't know if what if they're going what do you call that guy? Ted Bundy route, where he's on trial and she's a super fanatic of his, and there's a following. I don't know. I'm super just guessing at that point, but who knows, man? But yeah, it looks good. I like the red jacket. I like that her what do you call those spandex stockings have the checkered pattern to them too.
Yeah.
They're not checkered, but that diamond check. Yeah, pretty cool. I like it. It evokes Harley
Quinn
without just being Harley Quinn.
No.
All right, then we're going to switch gears a little bit here to a developing story where we're going to just stick to what is currently known. So a spokesperson from the New York Police Department's Deputy Commissioner of Public Information confirmed that Jonathan Majors had been arrested on Saturday, March 25th, 2023. The quote here says that, at approximately 11:14 hours, police responded to a 911 call. A preliminary investigation determined that a 33-year-old male was involved in a domestic dispute with a 30-year-old female. The victim informed police she was assaulted. Officers placed the 33-year-old male into custody without incident, and the victim sustained minor injuries to her head and neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition. And so that was the initial, okay, he's been arrested for assault, and then it turned into potentially a domestic incident. And then later on, Priya Chaudhry, I believe is how you pronounce her last name, is Jonathan Majors' criminal defense lawyer. She released the following statement saying, Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and is provably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. This evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. All the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever. Unfortunately, this incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis for which she was taken to a hospital yesterday. The NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason Mr. Majors was arrested. We expect these charges to be dropped soon. Other representatives from Jonathan Majors gave statements that said, he has done nothing wrong. We look forward to clearing his name and clearing this up. At this point, I don't know that we have any confirmation on the relationship between the two, but I've heard maybe girlfriend. What was the suspicion or expectation, I guess. So not a lot known of like the ins and outs of what happened, but it sounded like there was an altercation in a taxi or a ride of some sort. And that's what we know. I heard there, some news outlets reporting that Jonathan Majors is the one that actually called in the quote unquote emotional crisis that she was having. And so at this point it sounds kind of he said, she said,
right.
But if the lawyer is to be believed, that woman has already recanted her statement. So if the lawyer's to be believed, it should be kind of an open and closed. Hopefully everything goes well for everybody involved. Right. Hopefully it's not true that he did that. And hopefully the young woman is, getting any help that she needs. And if it is true, hopefully, justice is, served, right? If he did do that. But yeah, so it's a developing story. And if we get any updates, we'll update them accordingly.
Yeah.
That's all I had for news, Chris. What? I
think what you meant to say.
What you been thinking about?
Is welcome back to Chris's Cryptid Corner. I'm your host, Chris. So, dude, we'll be following up on the catacombs. So I got some stuff here.
Let me get cozy.
Yeah, why don't you? So let me go ahead and get everything pulled up here.
Figured you just would already have that pulled up.
It's right here, baby. Hope you're fucking comfortable.
Now, did you write it down?
I did.
Are you reading an article?
No, I wrote it all down, and I wrote
good.
bullet points, so I already know what I'm talking about.
That's perfect, dude.
So to talk about the catacombs, I know we started to briefly talk about it last episode, but I know we started to talk about the catacombs last week on our episode, and I got really invested into it. Yeah. And so I really wanted to follow up on it, but I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of really know what the catacombs are, how they were formed first.
Yeah.
And then from there start learning about some of the legends and some of the spooky things about them.
Yeah.
Spoopy. So the catacombs were originally made...
He's way hitting iniquity. The catacombs of Paris right now.
They were made in the late 18th century, but they
so
really...
That's the 1700s.
All right. And so they really started to pick up momentum around 1774 through 1778.
Okay. Why?
So what was going on is during that time of the late 1700s, or the late 18th century, excuse me, France was dealing with a lot of dead bodies from the French Revolution War.
Right.
As well as, illness. People were dying left and right. You're not surviving like how we do today. But then
it's different now.
As well as since the 1400s, people in France, a lot of the buildings out there are made with I have it right here. It's a type of limestone. It is called lutetium limestone.
Okay.
But in France, a lot of people call it Paris limestone.
Sure.
Because a large majority of Paris, a lot of the ancient structures,
made out of that.
is made out of that style of limestone. But the thing is the people would mine underneath basically themselves.
Yeah, they're digging underneath the city.
Pull these limestone and then build buildings on top.
Yeah.
And they didn't reinforce these mines.
Yeah.
So around 1774 to 1778, it really started a backlash. Now, granted, it had a death toll of 20, but of just massive sinkholes.
Yeah.
Of just it falling apart.
You're hollowing out the earth beneath you, and then building heavy structures on top.
Yeah. And so, just these problems after problems, it just, people are dying left and right, and people blame the collapse on the devil. Which, makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Because,
the ground is swallowing
the ground is swallowing you. But nobody wanted to be like,
maybe
it's us.
Yeah, maybe we're digging out the support.
So during that time, France had hired, I couldn't find his name, but basically they hired this specialist who had come in, and his job was to try to fill up these mines and, how to do it so quickly. But the thing is, it was so random and rapid. Because it's been going on since the 1400s. These mines are deep. But the problem that he ran into, again, was the point I wanted to bring back up with the dead bodies and how they collapsed. So what he did is the quarry that they had built down there, he had turned into the beginning of the catacombs. And he just started. But the thing is they didn't put... there wasn't like a grave site.
Yeah.
They were just stacking bodies in their quarry.
Into the wall, yeah.
And it reached into a lot of the water supply.
Lovely.
And so people were getting sick
and dying.
And there was just so many people. And so it just was such a bad chain effect. And as soon as this guy started his job of being the overseer for
civil engineering basically.
Yeah. I think there was 2 collapses that day. And so it's it's my first day, thanks.
Yeah, preach.
But in total, the catacombs to this day record says that it has anywhere between 6 to 7 million bodies in the catacombs, which is just fucking bananas. The catacombs, so as far as what the people did, so originally they had this kind of plaza in Paris where they would dump, a bunch of compost or if there's a market down the street and they didn't sell their produce, they got a plaza in here. It would create so much stink that again they'd just start moving it all down to the quarry and just let it sit there.
Yeah.
That it hit. People said that if you took wine down there, it would turn into vinegar instantly.
Jesus.
And stuff would rot right off rip.
Yeah.
And they said it was so bad, and people who would butcher things, again leaving the scraps, and it just got so bad to the point where they had to eventually make these catacombs and clear out, and that's how since the 1400s using these mines to essentially just fill up these 6 to 7 million bodies in.
Yeah.
Now, as far as cryptids go for it, kind of now that we have the historical background or better idea of it, it's to say that there, believe it or not, there's not a whole lot out there.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me, especially for
it seems
how
like such a
eerie.
Yeah. Inherently creepy place.
But there are
an underground maze full of 7 million dead.
Yeah. But there are a couple different things that I wanted to talk about as far as some of the cryptids, and I have 2 different things pulled up here.
Yeah.
So the first thing I wanted to talk about was about the girl who had got lost in the catacombs, and she was only gone for 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so she wasn't gone too terribly long.
Yeah.
But on January 1st, back in 2000...
That's a long time to be lost in underground tunnels.
But yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
But on January 1st, 2005, a group of teenagers decided to spend the night on New Year's partying in the catacombs. However, they got super fucked up.
Yeah, they got drunk and high
And a girl named Masha became separated and lost in the catacombs, and spent 3 days wandering in the freezing cold and pitch black, and then she ended up dying of dehydration.
Yeah.
But they didn't find her until like 10 days later, and they ended up having to find her with dogs.
Yeah.
So probably like finding their clothing, being like, here, smell this.
Find her.
And good luck.
Yeah. Godspeed, Gucci.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's fucking nuts that like,
Yeah.
you just wandering for 3 days and you die, and then
That's
10 days
terrifying.
later, people find you.
That's horrifying. To just be lost in the dark for
Yep.
3 days. Because, I mean, what light source did she have?
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, in 2005, maybe a phone, like a flip phone.
Yeah, but even then.
But like, yeah, it's not a bright light, and those batteries didn't last you for anything more than a couple hours.
That's horrifying.
I mean, I imagine I would be scared so shitless. Like, I would just have to take my hand, close my eyes, and just walk. And so I have something to feel on, so I can, if I gotta make turns, I know where I'm at.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're not even getting light source for your eyes to adjust to the dark.
Mm-mm.
You know
I mean,
what
it is pitch black
dark.
down there.
Yeah.
You cannot see anything. So I think that's the craziest
terrifying.
part.
Yeah.
But to boot, so some of the people that say, you think that's scary just alone, a lot of people claim they're to be shadow people down there.
Okay.
And so I actually have a picture that we're going to be posting in this episode of someone has a picture of one of the shadow people. But they say to whisper in your ears if you get lost, telling you to go deeper into the catacombs to find your way out. And then there's also legends that they, point you in either in the direction to leave,
Yeah.
or they purposely point you in the
Further
direction to get you further in. And there's no way to
Right, yeah, I mean, you
tell
don't
the
know.
difference between them.
You got that picture? I want to see this.
Yeah.
I mean, I can shake a camera when I take a picture.
I don't know, man. The wall looks pretty steady. It's not as shooken up as the guy himself. Like, if there was a person standing there, I feel like you would have definitely been able to see more of him.
Maybe. No, it's not that spooky.
You're also pessimistic.
Yeah. No, I'm realistic. You don't need to make a fucking pitch black maze full of corpses scarier by going, there's also ghosts.
Hey, man. The more the merrier, in my opinion. I'm scared shitless already.
Yeah, dude, fuck that. I'm not going in the cave.
Well, thankfully for you, in the catacombs, you can go on tours, but it is very limited.
Yeah.
It's basically you walk in a single row,
Yeah.
and then you look around, and you might be able to see further into it,
Yeah.
and then you turn around.
And then they go, all right, let's get out.
And that's because how
easy it is to get lost.
how easy it is to get lost, but as well as they still haven't reinforced everything from the catacombs, so
Right.
it is at risk of just collapsing at any
on
point,
you. Yeah.
and then you're dead.
Yeah, you're fucked.
But then, as well as moving forward, I do have a story about a gentleman who had claims to have been in the catacombs because he snuck in,
Yeah.
heard voices, but thankfully was able to help him get out.
Okay.
So here, so this guy, he said
What's
he came.
this guy's name?
Pull up, it was on my phone. Because it was a Reddit thing, so I'm not sure if his name was on there.
Okay.
5 Meter Hammer. That's the guy who submitted the story.
All right.
So, 5 Meter Hammer, if you're listening, shout out. No, but he goes on to explain that he was in, Paris, and he was just taking a vacation, and he went down to the catacombs on a tour, but then he noticed that there was another path.
Yeah.
And so he came back down, he scheduled another tour, and when they kept walking, he broke off in that path. And he said that he got lost for just a couple hours, right? He wasn't gone for a long time, but he did he said, like, a couple wrong turns, and he got lost.
Yeah.
And he said it spit him out in this, underground plaza. And he says he's losing visibility, and, they all have, like, lamps to a certain extent, so you can somewhat see anything, but he also had his phone with him. That's what he said he used mainly as a light.
Yeah.
But in that, he's flashing it around. And he said that he saw, like, 2 different shadow people, and one of them stood there looking at him, not saying a single thing, and just staring at him. And then he had another one that said, like, go that way.
Yeah.
And, like, he looked at him and then looked at the other one. He's just staring at him. And he's like, I'm going to take that.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna
have much to go on. Yeah.
And so he just kept walking, and he was able to turn around and, make his way out. And he found it, and he said, like, he didn't get caught or nothing, but he was like, but he thought he was in the supernatural realm of things, which
Right.
is another part, which is eventually what I wanted to bring up about the catacombs. Because, with the catacombs, they've made the film As Above, So Below,
Right.
which we'll dig into here soon.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do believe to a certain extent, Sullivan is whining.
And he's just wandering. I mean, just walking a circle.
But, yeah, to a certain degree, I mean, there's 6 to 7 million bodies down there, and you're telling me there's not a single ghost down there? You're dumb. There's got to be something. I think there's got to be something. Weasels, maybe.
Flies, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Could be.
But, I mean, what would you do, like, in a situation where you just get turned around?
Shit my pants. First off, shit my pants. I mean, that's the hard part is, I mean, like, what do? You fucking just don't get lost. Just trace your steps. But, I mean, you're looking at identical, hallways and tunnels and shit like that. At a certain point, depending on how lost, if you panic and start running, you're fucked.
You're done.
You're done. You just done fucked up.
Done messed up, AA Ron?
Done messed up, AA Ron? I don't know. Yeah, like you just, I guess you do it like that young lady did and wander for 3 days and eventually die
of dehydration.
Yeah.
My thing is, do you think she stopped moving? Like she stopped wandering
Just
before
kinda
she
gave up.
died and she just laid down?
I don't know, man.
And was just like, I guess I'm too tired to move.
Right. Well, and that's the hard part. Is like, there's no good option.
Because, like, imagine...
Because if you keep moving, I guess maybe there's a chance you find your way out, but there's a better chance you just make yourself more lost.
Because the thing is, like, 3 days, you're hitting day 1.5, you're going to need to go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, imagine going to bed and waking up and going, I still can't...
lost.
I still can't see anything.
Yeah, that's horrifying.
Like, not being able to get a sense of your surroundings at, like, one bit.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I don't like it. Like, that scares me vastly more. The idea of just being lost is so much scarier to me than the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, any paranormal aspect you bring up isn't gonna keep me awake as much as just being lost in these tunnels and knowing I'm just gonna wander in the dark and die.
What I'm curious about is, like, there's a large portion, which I mentioned last episode, of the catacombs that are undiscovered.
Right, yeah, they're just unexplored or unmapped.
So, which means, like you just said, there's a big portion that are unmapped. Why would they be unmapped?
I guess partly just difficulty getting in and out, as well as what's the deep need to map it. Right, the cost, because there's ways you can avoid getting lost, right?
Well, I imagine, like, just the sheer, especially back then when it did collapse more often, of, okay, keeping record of where everything's at, what's here, what does this room lead into? Instead, they just cut it out as if it's never there.
Right.
But it's not collapsed yet, right? And it can still keep going on, and there's a bunch of stuff. Now, I don't think it's got anything, like, supernatural behind it, but I do believe that maybe the French government, or the King of France, which would have been King.
Well, depending on
when say if it's
I mean,
before.
you said it was in the 1400s up to the Revolution.
14, yeah.
Up through the Revolution, so. I mean, if you're in past the Revolution, you're looking at
King.
you're looking at Napoleon.
Oh yeah, well
If
he's
you're in
after
past the Revolution. Yeah.
Before that's King. I want to say King Louis, but that's not.
I mean, he was one of them. King Louis is the one that
King Louis
the 16th.
Yeah, that's
the
what
one
it
that
was.
they killed in the Revolution.
Yeah, King Louis the 16th.
He and Marie Antoinette.
But again, and then to persuade even further, I guess, with Napoleon.
Yeah.
Because eventually when he started to lose power and stuff like that, I bet he probably hit some shit somewhere.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I feel like, it's not a bad question of, well, why wouldn't they map that? But I think it's just a logistics thing of cost versus benefit. How much money and time and manpower is it going to take to map it and avoid losing people in there, right? Versus what do we gain, right? A map, of some spoopy tunnels, right? Like,
but there are, I mean, with the walls and everything of the bones, I mean, they were not shy to use adults, teenagers, kids, babies. I mean, if you look closely, you'll find hands, femurs, skulls of just infants.
Yeah.
Just Jay chilling in there. But I do know as well as during that time era, back in the 1400s, the people began to get extremely upset when they started just dumping the bodies in the quarry.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to have them in the
like mausoleums or such.
the mausoleums or the appropriate cemeteries.
Right.
Because they wanted to bury them with the ones that they loved.
Right.
Instead of just ditching
Just
them in
dumping
bodies.
a body, yeah,
which was
grave.
Kind of why, another thing that helped form the catacombs. Because I think their solution to it originally was they're going to put them separately in different cemeteries.
Mm-hmm.
And even the government itself, like when this bill is passed, when this
I'm just
rule,
a bill.
I'm just a bill. But when this rule was passed, I guess, even the government was pretty not strict on it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, we agree. We think you should bury your loved ones with your loved ones.
Right.
But
yeah, if you're able.
Yeah. But then dipping into as above, so below, they kind of look into more of the aspect of, the gates of hell.
Yeah.
Which legend has it is the gates of hell because it is the lowest, one of the lowest points we can get into without needing anything.
I don't know. Is that a thing?
I believe it's a thing. Because, we can go, underwater, but, Earth. With a plausible entrance. I believe it was up there. Either way.
That sounds like a fact you thought.
No. I remember I saw it. Maybe it could be. Welcome back to Fact or Cap with Chris. To me, I think that's a fact.
Chris.
Is it Cap? Find out next week.
I like that we're now reached the point where you just go, that sounds right. So it's probably right.
That sounds right.
And if anybody knows you, that's a scary metric to run on. If Chris could buy it, it must be true.
No, I cannot confirm or deny. But it makes sense, how deep the catacombs go. There's multiple levels to them, I assume. I don't think it's just 1200s in a straight line, or 200 miles in a straight line.
No, yeah, it's all stacked and interwoven and stuff.
But with taking a look at as above, so below is the gates of hell.
Yeah.
They kind of look into more of the 7 deadly sins, which we took a look at while we were eating some dinner.
Yeah. Not a good movie.
No, it was pretty bad rewatching it, which really hurt my heart in a sense.
Yeah, because you were like, it's a good movie. I remember it being a really good movie. And I was like, I don't remember it being a good movie.
And I was like, no. You don't know what you're talking about. We turned it on. And just some of the acting. And I was like, oh,
that was pretty bad.
That was tough.
Yeah.
But I did think the concept of it was pretty cool as far as
I think it'd make a really cool video game.
Yeah.
I think that'd be right. Like a PT or what's the Visage,
Yeah.
Something like that would be a pretty interesting... make it a VR video game?
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I can't play VR. I tried Phasmophobia. Can't.
Didn't even get in the house. Just got to the door and opened it and heard the...
Yeah,
back it up.
Yeah, bad enough there.
Better get back to the van.
Yeah, this place is haunted.
Roll out.
Yeah. Pedal on the right.
Just take off.
No, but they talk about the 7 deadly sins, and if you don't know what the 7 deadly sins are, it is. Do you know what the 7 deadly sins are?
Sloth, pride, envy, lust, wrath,
greed.
Isn't that envy? Or are they two separate ones?
I think they're two different ones.
Yeah, I guess envy is jealousy. Mm-hmm. Greed, okay. What did I say? Wrath, greed, jealousy, sloth, lust, and I had 6. Pride. Did I say pride?
I think I just shit my pants.
You're joking. You're joking.
That was foamy.
Ew! Chris! Go wipe. Go check.
Somebody call Nickelodeon because I think I just got slimed.
Are you legitimate? Chris, did you poop your pants?
think I'll be all right.
Did you poop your pants?
It's fine. Let's just finish the episode. Leave it in.
No.
Leave it in,
coward.
Leave it in. This is me. We're real people. This kind of shit happens. Shit happens.
Shit happens, you know?
People come up to me, they say, Chris, you've changed. I shit my pants. I had to change.
All right.
No,
No,
but
I don't know what the last one was.
I actually do think I shit my pants, but as far as the 7 deadly sins, let me double check here. Because I'm all bent around.
Blasphemy.
Pride, envy, anger, sloth, greed, gluttony. That's the one we forgot. Gluttony, lust.
Oh, okay.
That's it. I got lust all day.
I combined sloth and gluttony in my head, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
What 7 deadly sins do you struggle with? Do you think?
Sloth.
Mm-hmm.
Gluttony.
Me and you both. Lust. I'm down bad.
I'm down horrendous.
24/7, 365.
I don't struggle with lust. Me and lust do not
We're tight,
struggle.
man. Yeah, we're tight.
Yeah, there's no struggle at all.
I got their number in my back
I'm
pocket.
not like wrestling with demons, you know what I mean? I'm just, you know.
I'm wrestling. A whole lot of wrestling.
I'm wrestling.
A whole lot of meat.
Greco-Roman style. No, you were asking me what 7 deadly sins I struggle with.
Yeah, so you said sloth, gluttony.
Sloth, gluttony, maybe a little lust, but it's not like I've got, you know, got a handle on things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, probably some pride, maybe.
I would agree. No, I'm fine with it. I just go, I was waiting for you to say that.
Thank God. I was afraid I was going to call it out. Some rage, you know, some wrath. No. What do you got?
Sloth, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. I think that's probably
agree.
my biggest one, is I'm a very...
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm a lazy person until I'm not. Like, if I'm up doing it...
You're a light switch. You're on or off.
Yeah, I am. But, like, when I am off, dude, it's so fucking hard to get me up and going. But when I am up and going, it's day and night.
Yeah, like a light switch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. like a light switch. Just thinking about that.
Yeah.
But probably all of them.
Like at one point in time,
like
you know?
a little bit of all.
Yeah,
of them,
well, I think that's
going.
the whole point, is that we've all got all. There's a reason why those are the 7 deadly sins. Is because they're just. It's just called being a person. You know?
Sue me.
Yeah.
You know.
Who doesn't like to fucking have money and get mad sometimes, you know?
Right.
And who doesn't like good food and not having to work for it?
I like to get so mad because I have so much money
I like to have so much money and food in my tummy
that it makes me
that
so
I'm pissed
mad.
off
I'm horny.
and I pop a boner. That's my rap name, by the way.
What do you?
Papa
What, Mad Boner? Oh,
No, Papa Boner.
Papa Boner.
Like little
Spit it on the
Dicky.
mic, Papa Boner.
Yep. Welcome to the stage, Papa Boner. And the crowd, ah!
But like, how do you think, if you had to travel the catacombs, how do you think you would correctly and safely enter and exit?
I just use my big fucking brain, dude. Like,
There's that pride and that ego. Have that pride and ego and throw it all away, Walter.
so I would put. First of all, I'd wear those toe shoes.
Okay.
You know the ones I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
So
ones
you
with
got
the toes in their shoes.
Yeah, those shoes with toes.
Yeah.
And you got good grip when you're walking, you know, so you ain't slipping.
No, they ain't never gonna catch me lacking.
You ain't never gonna catch
They're supreme.
I've got a fucking flat cap on.
You got your Gucci Louis 3 lots.
Stop interrupting me. You asked me a question. So I've got my toe shoes on. And I've got, I don't know, dental floss or something tied to the entrance. Right. I'll just start walking.
Just a single spool.
I've got a few, you know. I've got spares.
You got like Batman's utility belt, but
Yep.
just dental
It's
floss.
just dental floss, different flavors. No, I bought this floss from Costco, so there's a lot of it.
Okay.
It's bulk. I'm always moving bulk. So So I got my toe shoes and my floss, and I've definitely got a headlamp.
You said you got head?
Stop it.
I just wanted to clarify on that question.
I just want to clarify. I have a headlamp on.
Lamp. Okay.
Lamp.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of those, we're going to go The Last of Us. We got the little clip on the chest flashlight that you can shake to charge.
You're going to do what on your chest?
You got to jack off the flashlight to make it light.
I just wanted to clarify.
And, yeah, that's me, baby. I'm in.
No food, no dinner, nothing. Sleep in the garage.
Well, how long am I down there? I got the toe shoes. I'm running through there. I'm running all the way in, all the way out.
Now, I heard a thing, and I'm not sure how true this is, and maybe you would know, because it makes sense.
I heard this is the lowest point in the world.
Yeah. But I guess not necessarily for the catacombs as much as just a maze.
Okay.
But if you put your hand on the left side of the wall and you keep walking, as long as you're touching that left side, eventually you'll get to the end.
I mean, unless there's dead ends.
But it would be like, so if you...
Like if you come to a
dead end, you just turn around.
You turn and keep following.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, eventually. But there's 200 miles of tunnels.
Right.
So, I mean, you'll die.
Not me. I got this shit all...
Oh, you said not me? I thought you said nut me. I was like, what does that mean?
No, you know damn well
good and
what
well.
it means.
No, so I got
bet
my...
your bottom dollar.
So I got my toe shoes, my flashlight, my floss, and I'll just walk with my hand on the left side.
Well, no, you can't do that because that's my idea.
Better yet, fucking bingo right here. I carry a black light marker, and my flashlight is a black light.
Mm.
Now, wait a minute. Hold the goddamn phone.
Elaborate. Explain why.
So you can mark off paths that you've been.
Sure.
And I guess you would have to maybe double back if it feels like, I don't know, you know what I mean? But like try and cross off areas.
What
of
if you
like,
just took a marker, right, and you just kept it
and just
while you walked? So if you hit anywhere, you're like, oh, I've already been here. I gotta go back.
But I feel like if you start lapping around on yourself, you don't know if, like...
That's true.
You know, which way was which, right?
That's very true. That's my thing is, like, if you get so...
Which is where the floss comes in.
Yeah.
So you can just turn around and double back.
But my thing is, like, what if...
I like that this is what the podcast has turned into, is you going, how are you getting them out of the catacombs?
Yeah. I had some information I wanted to tell, and then some other stuff. How do you think you would take it if you did start hearing voices of you going into the catacombs? Do you think you would consciously be able to make the decision of, like, these are fake, or would you be spooked out, like, to the point?
Oh, it's spooky, yeah.
Because the other thing I wanted to mention was in that video that you showed me that was made in 1998 of the videotapes, or 1999, excuse me, of the videotapes, and, like, they never found that man.
Right.
But there was a footage of this guy with a video camera, and he was walking down the catacombs, and his breathing just started getting real heavy. And then he dropped the camera that had the light on it.
Yeah, while he was running, he drops it.
And you hear the big splash, and you can kind of see him fall. And, like, well, you see him get back up, because you see his foot, you know, as he's running off.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then you just hear vaguely eerie noises in the background as the footsteps start to echo.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Was he hearing voices?
Yeah. That's what I think is... He's probably starting to hear voices. Or do you think he heard something?
Maybe. Well, and that's the thing, right? Is also your brain is super good at freaking you out.
Yeah.
You know, because your brain is constantly after a pattern, right? And so that's why you can see faces and stuff, because your brain's like, oh, that's a face. You know, we're super good at hearing voices and seeing faces because it's what we're designed to do, right?
Right.
Which is why you can see the man on the moon, right? You see the face on the surface of the moon, and you can hear words out of noises.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you talked about him walking, he's got the echo of his footsteps, things like that. At a certain point, does he hear his own footsteps behind him, right? And thinks someone's following him? And again,
or something's right behind. Dude, imagine it being pitch black.
Right. Well, and that's the
and
thing,
you're
right?
walking and you think you hear footsteps.
I mean, it's the
behind you.
prime environment to already like almost want to be scared. You You know what I mean? Not necessarily desire it, but your body is like, this is inherently scary. There's got to be something scary down here.
Yeah.
Right? And then you hear what sounds like it's the reverberation. It's the echo of his own footsteps, but he hears a footstep behind him. He's gone. He's running.
Like, I mean...
I got to get out of here. There's somebody chasing me.
I would be from walking to a dead sprint in a matter of a second.
And then as you sprint, you get more and more disoriented, taking turns that you shouldn't be taking. You're not tracking where you're at. You start to panic because you're lost. And you're already thinking in your head, how am I getting out of this? This thing that's chasing me is going to kill me, right? And there's nothing even chasing you, right?
That we know of.
That we know of, right? In this scenario, most likely we'll say not, right? Even just this is how easily, even if there is no supernatural element, you can get yourself killed in there.
Yeah, that's very true. I also was thinking about the catacombs that we discovered in Labyrinthine. That was one of my other thoughts of how to escape, is we had glow sticks.
Glow sticks, yeah. But we had an infinite supply of glow sticks.
Sure, but I mean, let's say you have...
a lot.
Costco
bulk.
Yeah.
Dental floss.
You're walking around. I mean, and plus glow sticks are you could see them for a distance.
Yeah.
Right? So I imagine
especially in pitch black.
Right. So I imagine that you don't need as many that we used per se, because we would drop them every 2 fucking steps and just make a line.
Yeah. The chapter 6 is out of Labyrinthine.
It is. We gotta play
played that.
No, we gotta play that. I'll have to download Labyrinthine.
Yeah.
Probably tonight. But so I think something along those lines I feel like would be pretty good. I'm bringing a gun. I got my Glock and my Rari.
For what?
1738. Hey. No, I mean, fucking spooky ghost comes down there. I'm gonna start blasting. Plain and simple.
You're asinine.
No, but there are squatters down there.
Yeah.
So I feel like people who've gone...
Oh, I'll be squatting. If I'm lost, I'm squatting.
You panicking shit all over the walls.
All everywhere. Yes.
No, but apparently some of the other things I wanted to talk about in...
I like that we just took this aside to bullshit. And then you're like, oh, I did have more info, though.
No, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of what we're talking about here, baby. But there is a mud statue that sits in France. And it is of a... What's so funny?
It's just a statue of mud?
No, it kind of looks like a bird. But it's
is it made out of mud?
It's stone. Stone, but it's covered in mud.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's made out of stone, but it's covered in mud, and it's been graffitied over, so it doesn't really look good anymore. But so the legend of this mud statue is just that it is solely the one thing that's keeping the whole city of Paris together. Is because, it's one of the biggest parts in the catacombs that's holding this thing up.
Oh, word, okay.
So legend, the rumor is this thing's still standing.
Yeah.
And it's what's keeping everything.
It's basically like Atlas holding the world on his back.
Yeah. And so the thought is that when/if that statue were to ever break,
Paris would fall.
Satan would be released.
Oh, word.
On the earth. The rapture would have happened. You and I know about the rapture. We've experienced them twice now.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. Just shooting the shit. I mean, rapture happens every Tuesday. It's not a big fucking deal.
I mean, oh my brother. What are these people all pressed about?
Jeez, it's like those people that come by and look at your electrical boxes.
Yeah.
It's like, shit.
Just checking the meter,
You're fucking eyeballing them out the window.
They've scared the fuck out of me before. I'll just be...
Did we say on the podcast when I was leaving for work and I was talking to you guys real quick as I was heading out, and I opened the door and the mail woman
was
just
on the porch,
putting the mail in the mailbox, and I was just, oh fuck! You scared the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah,
and she was just looking at me, and she was like, and left, and I closed the door real quick and was like, oh
my god, I had to gather yourself.
Yeah, I was like, scared the shit out of me.
That scared the fuck out of me.
I would fear in the catacombs something collapsing on me.
Yeah.
Because I think as long as I was able to keep moving, even if it's false hope, I would still have a sense of hope. because I can just keep moving. You know, eventually I'll get out of here. Eventually I have to. I feel like I'm dumb enough to believe that.
Yeah.
But if I were to...
You know what's perfect?
And
I was sitting here thinking, you're stupid. Like when you were like, I could get out. I was like, no, you're dumb. And then you were like, I'm just dumb enough to believe that.
Yeah, no, I am.
Like, I know oh, well, you know.
Like, a part of me knows, like, I wouldn't, but the majority of me goes, no, I feel like I would.
Yeah, I'm the one.
So, my biggest fear is something
and 5
would...
meter hammer.
Dude, we're in, like, Flynn, out, like... Anyways... I was trying to think of Flynn out, like, but I couldn't.
Trout, I don't know.
That doesn't sound good. Anyways, moving on towards more of like as above, so below, and that aspect of it. You know, they talk about the catacombs, and we kind of studied up on it and watched just like some miniature clips. But one of the clips, you know, starting off, I guess the movie, the premise of it is they go to the catacombs, and it is, you know, the gates of hell.
Spooky, yeah.
But one of the...
They're looking for the Philosopher's Stone.
Yes, which healed people.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
But it was kind of bullshit, and they did one of those, like, I kiss you on the mouth, and now you're alive again.
Yeah.
Kind of dealio.
Yeah, it was like Snow White. Or Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
That's not a good movie.
No, it was not. It was not a good movie at all. But the one part that did spook me out of that kind of makes me think the Shadow People, which is, I guess, the main thing I wanted to talk about comparing it to the movie, was we saw it briefly in the clip where, I guess, the scene where...
There's almost like monks or like priests down there.
Yeah, well, we see the ones where she hits them in the face.
Yeah.
Right? And then they fall back.
Yeah.
But then there's ones that got, like, cone hats on.
Yeah.
And those were the ones we saw walking
in the
and
dark.
Then and he like started pulling them and running away from them, and like trying to get them to quiet down. And I can't remember what they were called, but like the one where there's that chair and there's the one, let's say, monk that was sitting down, but it was in the red gown, and then it had the red cone hat.
Yeah.
Dude, for whatever reason, that shit scared the piss out of me.
Scared you as a child? As a chitlin?
But how often do you think cults go down there?
Probably not as often as we'd like to think.
You really think so?
Yeah.
I'm surprised the homeless rate isn't higher in there.
Yeah. Well, it's dangerous.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, I mean, they can't go very far in, or they're not going to come back out.
I'd just go straight, go straight a while, make a single right.
That's just your fucking... I'd go straight for a while and then make a single right.
Home sweat home, But like that's just that's what I would do. I don't. Let me know. How would you get out? You know, let us know at simplymailbag@gmail.com. Tell us how you'd get the fuck out of the catacombs, because I don't think you could do it better than Colin and I.
Yeah, we got them fucking toe shoes on.
Got the Tims.
I just love how fucking simple and matter-of-factly your method is there. If I was homeless in Paris, I'd go down to the catacombs, just walk straight for a while and make a single right. Boom, you're set.
I'm good. A roof over my head, spirits to keep me company. We three.
Alright.
But that's really all I had about the catacombs. There's a bunch of research about them, but for the most part, as far as like scary cryptids or legends, it is to be said to be a little more docile, which I find a lot of beauty in, because especially during the French Revolution, they talk about how death is truly the most equal thing for everybody.
Yeah, it's the equalizer.
So the thought behind that with the catacombs, you know me, I struggle a lot with my mortality.
Yeah.
But to me, there is a sense of relief.
Yeah, that
in
way.
That, just because, like, at the end, we're all
born, we all die.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I like that a lot. But I would like to go, and I think I would do a tour guide.
Yeah. Just tell the tour guide, hey, we're going to go straight down here for a while.
And then we're going to
make a single right.
You come back, I got LED lights up in there. There's a fucking popcorn machine.
Got a gaming setup with all the RGB,
Oh man, but if I'm ever in Paris,
if I ever find myself out that way,
if I ever find myself homeless, I'm just gonna make some savings and then make a trip to Paris.
Yeah.
Who's in Paris?
Parisians.
What'd she order?
Fish fillet.
Oh, But no, that's all I had. But I did like the catacombs, and I would like to go. I truly would.
Yeah.
I think I always wanted to do like just, traveling, I guess. You want to go like to the big ones like Japan, LA, like Italy, UK, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to do like nitty gritty stuff. Like I really do like the catacombs, or like I'd like to go to Nepal to kind of see some more stuff about like, I guess, more ancient ruin stuff. I find that stuff fascinating, and I find that.
Well, I mean, you can see like Roman ruins in England.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the Middle East. I mean, go to Iraq.
Yeah.
And see.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the oldest city on Earth. You know, is modern day Baghdad.
I would really like to see Aztec or Mayan ruins.
Yeah.
I think those are really cool as well, because I think they were onto something. There was something we can. We'll talk about this forever, so I won't be too long on it. But maybe it's something I'll talk about next week for my What You've Been Thinking About.
There you go.
But they said that a lot of maps made back in the early AD, I don't know, like early time, I guess. I don't remember exactly when it was.
A long time ago.
But the whole theory was like, on all maps, they knew where Antarctica was. And they're like, it's on all maps, and everything like that. And from maps dating back to when nobody's been to Antarctica. Because it wasn't discovered until like, 18...
Are you a flat earther?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. But the theory is that there was a lost civilization on Antarctica, and it froze over. And that's the whole conspiracy behind it. Now, I don't know too much about it, so I truly don't know if I believe it or not. Do I think it's a cool concept? Absolutely. And do I think it's a possibility? Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
But that's just a theory.
A game theory.
Game theory. But what about you? What have you been thinking about?
I just,
You just go, I think I just yeed my last haul.
Yeah, I don't see the point anymore,
Whoa.
That fucking meme of that little kid drinking his milkshake and his eyes are bugging, trying to like... And he's sitting over there in the passenger seat holding a big gulp. Looking over the passenger, looking over the driver, and it's like, when you're home, he's driving 120 mile an hour on the freeway and says, "Oh, what's the point anymore?" You what? No, Morgan, I've been playing Minecraft on the PlayStation 5.
No word?
Yeah.
How's that been treating you?
It's kind of tough, man. It's like when you're teaching kids stuff, and you got to remind yourself that, like, they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, the stuff that to you is, like...
This is the basic.
Just fucking dig. You know what I mean? Like, having to tell her, like, you got to hold down the button to dig. It's not a punch, it's a hold. So again, like, back to the very basics, And so there's some things that it's like, just doesn't... Like, she wanted to build a moat, and Minecraft's water is fucky. Yeah. There's no way around it.
Mm-mm. No bones about it.
And so, like, even just trying to teach her, like, all right, I'm going to fucking clue you in here. We're going to make an infinite water source. And you do the 4 or the 2x2, and you put the water in opposite corners, and now you can just take water from there forever.
Bingo.
And having to be like, no, that corner. No, that. Nope, there you go. That corner. Bingo. And, it's, there's a lot of shorthand because, it's a 10-year-old, over 10-year-old game, and everybody knows Minecraft, right? And so then it's like, oh, man, she doesn't know any of the stuff that you just take for granted.
Yeah.
So it is a little difficult, but also she's easy to impress, I built a pretty rough house, and she's like, dude, you're an architect. You're Michelangelo. Like, this is the Sistine Chapel. And I'm like, yep, I'm a fucking pro, baby.
Dude, we built a pretty dope lighthouse. We gotta get we gotta get Minecraft figured out. And I think as soon as we do, we're just gonna stream forever.
Yep. Just
24-hour stream.
There was an old song, like a Minecraft song. Not one of like the Captain Sparkles.
Nah, it wasn't.
But I don't remember what it was called. But I like had my sister convinced that I made it. And like, I told people that shit at school too, that I made that song. And they were like, "Yo, what?
Nuh-uh.
You're fucking joking." I'm like, "That's me, baby." Like, I'm like,
which one?
It sounds. I'm trying to remember what it was called, and I can't think of it. I can't even think of. All I can think of are the Captain Sparkles ones. I don't know if I find it all. I'll bring it up next week.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I was that kid. No. My uncle works at Nintendo.
My dad is the owner of Microsoft.
But I'm telling kids at school, like, that's me on the track. Like, I made that. And they're like, "Yo."
It's a young boy on the track.
They're like, "No, you didn't. That doesn't even sound like you." I'm like, "That's how good I am." And they're like, "Fuck, he's right."
Shit, it does sound like him.
They're just buying it. And I was like, that's my claim to fame is I made this Minecraft song with
my God.
millions of views. And I'm just like, yeah, get on my level, But I've been thinking about that. And I've also been thinking about the fact that I just bought the Resident Evil 4 remake.
I saw that.
And so I'll be playing that. That'll probably be my what you've been thinking about next week is the Resident Evil 4 remake. But that's all I got, kid.
No. I'm trying to think if there is anything I've been thinking about.
Yeah, the catacombs.
The catacombs. Yeah, and I'm a pretty big airhead.
Yeah.
Stuff comes in, stuff comes out. I'm just here.
Yeah.
I'm like the breeze,
Anyway, if you guys want to thank... Sorry. Anyway, we want to thank you guys so much for your attention and support. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a great review. Tell your friends about it. Word of mouth, obviously, is a major help at this point. I just burped the mic.
My voice just fucking cracked. This whole episode is just been shit. Hey, it's our shit.
Our shit.
And we fucking own this bitch.
That's right. Make sure you're liking it, following it, subscribing to us on whatever your streaming service of choice is for audio. Yep. That way, obviously, you get notified when our episodes are available. We try and shoot for, 8 a.m. on Wednesdays?
Try to.
Here lately, we've been a lot earlier than that. Shooting for midnight.
Midnight, yeah.
Yeah, so Wednesday morning, peep it.
Midnight Mass, not a sponsor.
It's a good movie, though, or a good show. Chris, if people want to get in touch with us, give us some feedback, ask us questions, tell us to shut the hell up.
Yeah, you can always take a look at us, on our Instagram, Facebook, which is going to be Simply Whelmed Podcast. You can take a look at our Twitter. Our Twitter handle is whelmed_simply. Or, of course, you can always send us an email in regards to what to talk about. If you had any thoughts, criticism. Yeah. I don't take criticism well.
So make sure you use his name.
Yeah, if you use my name, I'll make sure I cry.
Yeah.
But you can definitely let us know on live.
Yeah.
I'll tear it up live. But you can always send us an email at simplywhelmedmailbag@gmail.com.
That's right. Next week, we're going to go see John
Wick 4. Yeah.
No contest.
Which I am very excited for. I mean, I've loved all the John Wicks, so I know I'm already going to be... Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to be saying.
Yeah. Shazam's... Yeah, fuck it. Sorry, guys. We're not going to see Shazam.
And if never heard of it.
We'll see when it comes to streaming. We'll do like we did Bullet Train. We'll just fucking 6 months later.
Which kind of sucks because Bullet Train I thought
Train was good.
Was good.
I don't see Shazam doing a Bullet Train on us. But yeah, that's the end of the show, Chris. Bye.
Bye.